Welcome, students, to the lecture for Week 3, Educational Psychology. This lecture will help you understand the role that educational psychology plays in good teaching. It will help you understand how to become a more intentional and therefore a better teacher. Let's begin by asking ourselves this question. What makes a good teacher? Especially in middle or high school, what makes a good teacher is the knowledge of your subject along with a vast knowledge of pedagogy. Knowledge of subject is important. Think about math, for example. You wouldn't make a good math teacher if you didn't understand math. But pedagogy is equally important. Pedagogy helps you teach the material that you know to students. So what is pedagogy? Broadly speaking, pedagogy can be defined as the art or science of teaching, education, and instructional methods. We might know our subject area really well, but lack the ability to get that knowledge across to students. A whole field of study surrounds pedagogy. That is, a field of study dedicated to the practices and the strategies of teaching. If you understand your subject area well, and you understand pedagogy well, you're more likely to become a good teacher. Now, you might be asking yourself, can good teaching be taught? Are you born a good teacher or are you made into a good teacher? And if it can be taught, how could it be taught? And what do I need to do to become a good teacher? When you're an intentional teacher, you're constantly asking yourself questions like, what goals and objectives are you teaching? Is the lesson appropriate to students' background, knowledge, skills, and needs? Is each activity or assignment related to a goal? And is each instructional minute used well, or is there wasted time in the classroom? So teacher efficacy has been shown to be an important predictor of a teacher's impact on students. Think back to some of your teachers. Probably the most impactful teachers have been the ones that have been right in there with you, talking about what you need to do to be successful, saying that they believe in you, saying that you can do this. Teacher efficacy has to do with the belief that you can make a difference in students' lives, in the outcomes for students. If you believe that children are just intelligent or not, they come from a home environment that you can work with or not, there are factors outside of your control that you can't influence. If you believe those things, you're less likely to have an influence over students. You're less likely to become impactful over your students' lives. One of the things that we know, however, is that teacher efficacy can grow over time. So you might start out thinking, I can't have much of an impact. But if you work on it, if you become reflective, and if you become intentional in your teaching, your teacher efficacy will also grow and improve over time. Good teachers focus on student outcomes. They're always thinking about what is it I'm trying to do with my students, not only in this lesson or unit, but in the long term. They're teaching their students 21st century skills or skills they'll need in the workforce, like creativity, critical thinking, becoming problem solvers. They're teaching them how to evaluate information, how to deal with different forms of media and technology skills, and they're focusing on life and career skills. This brings us to the main topic of the lecture, which is, what is educational psychology? Broadly speaking, educational psychology is the study of learners, learning, and teaching. Educational psychology is designed to make better teachers through the study of learners, learning, and teaching. Learners are the students, learning is how the students learn, and teaching is how we teach. What's the goal of research in educational psychology? It's to test ideas about learning in an objective and fair way. And from these tests, from this research, we've developed a body of best practices that teachers may implement to increase student learning and improve student affect. It's extremely valuable to you to understand these best practices. They inform the hundreds of decisions you must make every day in the classroom about students learning, their attitudes, their abilities, their strengths, their weaknesses, their behavior, and more. We want to learn these best practices that are supported by research because we will make good decisions, we will increase student learning, and we will increase student motivation. Similarly, what are some things we could study about learning? Some examples might include, what does brain research say about how we learn? Do metacognitive strategies improve learning? What types of curriculum work best to teach mathematics? Educational psychologists have studied these questions. Out of these questions and many, many more have developed theories. And out of those theories, we develop best practice strategies that we can use in the classroom. What are some things we could study about teaching? Here are some examples. How important is it for teachers to be passionate and engaged in their subject area? How important is it for teachers to be knowledgeable? What are teachers' impacts on students' academic achievement? How does reflective teaching benefit students? And many more questions about teaching. Again, educational psychologists have researched these and many, many more questions. And out of these questions have developed theories, and out of those theories, we've developed best practices classroom strategies that we'll be learning in this course.